Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open the hearing this morning. Call it to order, although we're not out of order. My name is Scott Summers. I'm General Counsel here in the Nebraska Department of Education, and I was appointed to be the hearing official to conduct the hearing this morning, the subject of which are proposed revisions of Title 92 Nebraska Administrative Code, Chapter 11, more commonly known as NDE Rule 11, titled Regulations for the Approval of Pre-Kindergarten Programs Established by School Boards or Educational Service Units and for Issuance of Early Childhood Education Grants. Today is Wednesday, 22nd of May, 2019, and it's just after 10 a.m. Central Time. The legal notice of the hearing was published in the Omaha World Herald on April 19th, 2019. Before we get started, let me read a few guidelines for the testimony. First of all, a Nebraska Department of Education staff member, Melody Hobson from Early Childhood, will describe and explain the proposed revisions to Rule 11. This will be followed by testimony from interested persons. Anybody presenting written or oral testimony is requested to 1. State a concise suggestion or recommendation of what action you would like the State Board to take. 2. State the rationale for your recommendation. 3. You may reinforce, but please refrain from repeating previous testimony. Each person testifying is limited to 5 minutes. Unless additional time is needed, it can be granted at my discretion. At the conclusion of all testimony from interested persons, Ms. Hobson will have the opportunity to respond to the testimony presented today, and that will conclude the testimony. One other note, due to a change in the law of the Administrative Procedures Act from a few years back, if anyone from outside of the department does testify today and has a question that they want answered as opposed to some kind of rhetorical or philosophical type question, please make that clear to us, because when a question is stated and an answer is expected, we need to supply that answer, and it's not always clear if it's a rhetorical or an actual question that's expected to be responded to. The testimony presented is being recorded, and that audio recording will be made available to the State Board and the public via YouTube at the time the State Board considers the adoption of this rule, which at least for now is on for the June 7th, 2019 State Board of Education regular meeting. Any written testimony needs to be submitted to myself or Brenda to my right prior to the end of today at 5 p.m. in order to be made part of the record of this hearing, and preferably before you leave today if anyone here brought any. With that, we'll go ahead and get started, and I would ask that Melody please come up and provide the aforementioned summary of the revisions to Rule 11.
I am Melody Hobson. I'm the administrator for the Office of Early Childhood at the Nebraska Department of Education. And as stated, Rule 11 has been revised in a number of ways. I will kind of highlight what has been changed. There have been a number of definitions, including home visiting services, home-based program, and in-home family support program, that have been clarified. Clarifying language has also been added around a number of items. These include, but are not limited to, home visitor, home visiting specialist qualifications, CPR, first aid, instructional hours, staff development plans, and staff equivalencies. In Section 004.05A, birth certificates, language is added regarding birth certificates to come into compliance with the Missing Children's Identification Act, Nebraska Revised Statute 43002 through 43, 2012. Section 005.03A5, A7, and A14, and Section 006.03B have been revised to add language that clarifies expectations for curriculum and assessment practices. The teacher endorsements named in the rule have also been updated to reflect current endorsements. Section 005.05G, the annual professional development hour requirement, has been increased from 12 to 15. And in Section 3, Section 003.02 through 003.03A, a process has been added for school systems to submit a request for a waiver of requirements for employing a fully certified teacher for an early childhood program. Throughout the document, the term shall was replaced with will. And finally, a Scrivener's error on section 006.03B. Both the words shall and will are in the text, and the word shall will be taken out. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, if there's anyone else that wishes to testify at this time, please come forward in no particular order, but if you just take them as they come, is there anyone that wishes to testify? Seeing no movement, is there anyone that brought any written testimony to be provided to be part of the record of the hearing? Could even be a staff person that received it from a third party, but I'm not seeing anything there either. Melody, you've received?
I've not received anything.
Nothing in advance. Last chance appears to be mainly department people, so. Okay, with that, we'll move right along. I'll go ahead and I already mentioned that it's up for state board consideration, scheduled to be at the June meeting. The board will receive the written summary of the meeting, which is obviously going to be what Melody said for the most part. And we'll go ahead and close the hearing. Thanks for coming.